Hey you guys, it's Megan and I am back with another video. So I decided to turn the art of becoming her when we were discussing all things that were like femininity and leading a softer life, evolving into the woman that you want to be. So I decided to turn it into a series, and now you're tapped into episode one. So if you didn't see the initial video that like prefaced this whole conversation, I'm going to make sure that I link it down below. And then in the end screen, you'll also see it since it's what got this whole thing started. So it was just put on my heart to extend it out to a series because whenever I was going through like my top 10 things that I wish I would have known or tapped into sooner to become more feminine, to become a softer version of myself, I was like, oh, I have more to say. Like this little 30 minutes that I'm doing like rapid fire of running through all 10 of these topics wasn't enough. So I decided to turn it into a series, and here we are. So today we're going to focus on defining your highest self. That was actually the first topic that I talked about in the original video. So I wanted to dive in that just a little bit deeper today. So, in that video, I asked you to do something and I just wanted you to trust me. I asked you to close your eyes and to envision what the highest form of yourself actually looked like. How did she wake up in the morning? What did her day routine look like? What did her evening routine look like? What were the things that she actually valued in life? Physically, what did she look like? What was important to her? And so, if there were some folks that were like having an issue with actually like visualizing that for themselves as well, the homework that was associated with that was to create a Pinterest board of the woman that you aspire to be, because a lot of people are driven by visuals. I am someone who is driven by aesthetics. Now, if you are into astrology, then you will know my birthday is October 19th, so I am a Libra, and Libras are allegedly drawn to aesthetics and things that are pretty and well put together. And I would like to say that that is very on par for me. Okay, that part about it. The part about being a people pleaser, not me, not your girl. So, yeah, I learned that about myself. And so sometimes when I am having an issue with envisioning something on my own, I head over to Pinterest because there I can actually create a visual of what it is that I am looking for. So that's what I challenge you ladies to do as well, is to go on Pinterest to create a board. Now that board might consist of French nails. It might consist of healthy foods like raspberries. I mean, I know the little thing is going on right now. Don't be eating no raspberries right now. Future state, future you. So raspberries, you might have strawberries on there, blueberries, like fruit, good wholesome food. You might have whole meals, chicken breast. I really like garlic parmesan, steamed green beans. So that might be what it looks like because you want to lead a healthier lifestyle. You might have a picture of a woman that has this really beautiful back definition and she goes to the gym. You might have images of books because you want to read more. Whatever it is that fuels you and that you understand about who it is that you want to be, put a picture with it, put a board with it, and you can make that board secret so that it only belongs to you, just you and God. Like that's it. So, defining your highest self is just taking it a step further and understanding who you identify as an individual and as a woman. And what I want to emphasize is it doesn't have to be you right here, right now. However, what I want you to do is to take one element from that board a week and start implementing it into your life. So you said you wanted to be into fitness. Okay. let's try to go to the gym, babes. Now, there was something really interesting that I heard another gal talk about, Jazz Turner. I'm going to reference her a lot because she does videos like this and she's very much so an inspiration. So she was talking about she was trying to fit the aesthetic of being a 5 a.m. gym girly, but when she looked at like the data associated with her aura ring, which I have an aura ring as well, that really wasn't like in her best interest to do that, to wake up at 5 a.m. and to go to the gym. And so now she has switched to going to the gym like a little bit later in the day. And so I would challenge you guys as well to figure out what works for you and don't follow a trend just because there are gals that are just because there are gals that are waking up at the crack of dawn to go to the gym, that doesn't mean that that has to be your reality. So you're going to take one item from your board and you're going to implement it into your life. Maybe you want to start reading more. Instead of you scrolling, babes, instead of you doom scrolling for an hour or 30 minutes, pick up a good book. Let's pick up a good book and read instead. We are refocusing our time. And instead of giving our time to other parts of our life, we are going to do it to where it matters. Because if anything, if nothing else that you learn from this series, I want you to understand how important it is to keep a promise that you have made to yourself. I mentioned in the other video how today's work is tomorrow's identity. That is the mantra that I live by, that I created for myself. And it's just because I have all of these goals that I want to reach, right? I have all these goals. I have financial goals. I have fitness goals. I have goals like when it comes to like my next home that I'm going to own, things of that nature. And what's really hard about being someone who is really ambitious is when you set an exuberant amount of goals, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure not to achieve one. Okay. So it's really recommended that you set up like only goals and you crush those three goals. Now, with that being said, Big Mama's going to stick to to her goals. But what's important for me to understand is today, what I'm experiencing is going to affect overall me getting to that goal. And let me give you a prime example. So today, I started my cycle. I am cramping so bad. Like you guys can't see it, but I have a heating pad and a heated blanket on me while I am making this video and I'm just thugging it out. I really want to be in my bed with some comfy socks on and a sweatshirt and just like have a candle lit and reading a book. That's what I would like to be doing, but she wants to be a consistent queen. So, one of the things that I think about and one of the things that you'll hear me talk about a lot is wellness because that's one of my goals. So, I have this image when I close my I was about to say when I close my head. Girl, what? When I close my eyes, I have this image in my head of the woman that I look like. She's small, she's petite, she's curvy, and she's strong. And so I was like, okay, today is day 1 of my cycle. Like I could either spend it sleeping, and I got some really good rest last night, or I could get up and move my body and just try to power through a workout. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be hardcore, it doesn't have to be intense, but try to power through some type of workout. So I am a girl that likes to use Chatiana, aka Montavious, and that is what I call my AI, especially when it comes to creating goals for myself and when it comes to like fitness things. So I literally put this is how you can use like AI to your advantage. I literally put into I have a project that is called health. And so in this project it has all of my measurements. It has what my fitness goal overall is, and I track my progress through like pictures and things like that. I track my food. And so in this chat, I put I'm worn out today and I'm not feeling well because I started my cycle. I'm cramping a little bit, but not too bad. I want to move my body and I want to work out. Can you please help me with a moderate, like low impact workout?" I'll share here the workout that it came up with. So I knew that I could commit to doing the treadmill. I knew that I could commit to doing the stair stepper. I could not commit to doing weights today. I could not commit to hot works, and I already feel nasty. Then going into hot works in 130 degrees, like, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey, not today. So I decided that the work that I'm putting in today is going to pay off tomorrow. And there are going to be times where you don't feel like doing something, and ultimately that's where discipline kicks in. And today is where discipline kicked in, because I also wanted to say, like, okay, what if 2 days from now I still don't feel well? I feel like it would be okay to give myself a pass because I did push through, right? There has to be some type of balance. And so I say that to say this: when you are going through what your highest self actually looks like, you have to understand that there's going to be some amount of sacrifice of what that woman is evolving to be, at what it means for her to actually lead a soft life. Now, I could have also said, you know what, I don't feel good right now. I don't feel good today, so I'm not going to record this video. But as I said before, I'm not breaking a promise to myself because Megan is very important to Megan. And so if I committed to getting my content out and to sharing that information, that's what's going to happen regardless. And I think that we have to get out of this mode of where everything in our lives is navigated by the way that we feel. Now, granted, some things, yes, very much so. I get it, go with your gut. But when it comes to, like, I don't feel like getting up to go to the gym, I don't feel like finishing this video, I don't feel like editing, I don't feel like doing certain things, we have to push through and, like, we have to thug it out, because ultimately us thugging it out is going to come out on the other end and we're going to see the fruits of our labor. Another example, you can't say that you want to have long, thick, beautiful hair, but you're not protective styling your hair. You're not deep conditioning your hair. You're not putting oil in your hair. You are not going and keeping up with your trims once every quarter. These are all the things that you need to do in order to have beautiful, long, thick hair that lasts. And I'm talking to myself with all this, because this is one of my goals. Also, your protein intake is really, really important. Your protein intake, and also your zinc, your vitamin D, and your iron. There was a gal that I saw on TikTok, and it was like she did this video of what her hair looked like prior to her iron deficiency and what it looked like after. She probably had like a third of the density of her hair. So, what I'm going to caution you with is, while we are in the building stages of understanding who we are and what the highest version of ourselves actually look like, go to the doctor. Go to the doctor, go to the dermatologist, okay? Those are your 2 pieces, like, along with implementing things from your Pinterest board into your life, starting right here and right now and taking action. Go to the doctor, go to the dermatologist, find out what you need to do to take care of your skin and also to take care of your body from within. Because a lot of us women that are melanated, we come with a lot of deficiencies. I myself am iron deficient and I'm also vitamin D deficient. So once a quarter, I have to go and get blood work done. And I also take vitamins and iron that is actually prescribed by my doctor, not over the counter, so that I can make sure that I stay at an okay level when it comes to that. So, y'all, look at how cute my little cover is. I'm not speaking into the mic. This is my little cover. to my iPad case, and then I'm also going to show you guys what my background looks like as well, because it's basically like my 2026 aspiration. So I'll show that to you. Hold on. Okay, never mind. I can't show that to you because then it's giving like a reflection of a lot of stuff. But anyways, so I took notes on what I wanted to like focus on and talk to you guys about. And so, along with everything else that we've already discussed, maybe you are still not sure about what defining the highest version of yourself actually means. And so, I made a nice little list, and it means your values, your habits, your routines, your appearance, your mindset, your finances, your relationship, and your career. So, let's count and see how many that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's 8. 8 identification pillars, I would say. So I already talked about like value, understanding what it is that is really important, specific to you. Okay. And also, we want to remember that we are building the woman of our dreams. We're not looking at another woman's life and like taking her life and saying that we want that. You can use it as encouragement and as motivation, but this is about you, babes. This is about you, not somebody else. So, your values. One thing that I feel like is extremely valuable to me, and I touched on this a little bit in the other video, is education. So I had a baby, a beautiful baby girl, when I was a teenager. I had like really great support from my parents. And I didn't end up finishing college because although I appreciated the support from my parents, I was like, this is my baby and my responsibility. So I'm going to go get a job. I didn't finish college. So guess what? Your girl's going to school in the fall. I'm going to school in the fall and I am majoring in world literature. I really love literature, and I am also getting a concentration or a focus in Spanish because I love Spanish. And at one point in time, I was actually like really, really fluent in Spanish, and then I lost it. So we're picking that back up again. My value, education. Okay. So what did I do? I don't care if somebody has something to say about me because of my age and going back to school. I'm going to make my mother proud. I'm going to make all three of my children proud. I'm going to make my grandmother, who sacrificed keeping my baby for me so that I could go to school, proud, that is now in heaven. I'm going to make my husband proud of me. And so that's what is important, is like pushing through, even though like other people might not fully understand. This is what is valuable to you. Another thing that I'll talk about is habits, and we'll touch on that. So, one of my habits is the 5-minute journal. And every single morning, I get up and I write in my 5-minute journal. And I make sure that it doesn't matter if I'm running late or what is going on. I write in that because I want to have some type of visual representation of my gratitude to God. I'm doing a lot of things to work and to put my manifestation into play, but I also want God to understand, and like God knows your heart at the end of the day. But I want him to understand that I'm very grateful for the life that he's given me right now. This once was also a dream of mine. And so I need to make sure that I'm giving gratitude and that I'm showing thanks to the life that I have right now. That's one of my habits. Routines. This is something that I'm actually working on, you guys, because I want to have a nighttime routine. My nighttime routine is kind of trash right now. And so I'm trying to get better. But one of the things that I'm dealing with is my husband is a night owl and I like to go to bed early. And so I'm just trying to find like balance in our schedules to where we can spend time together and I can also get what it is that I'm needing, which is to go to bed earlier so that I can get up and allot enough time for me to focus on myself in the morning before starting my day. So that is a work in progress for me. Appearance. So, as far as appearance is concerned, when you Visualize the ultimate and highest version of yourself. What does she actually look like? I want you to be so detailed in your description to the T. One of mine was that I had a nose ring, and baby girl went and got herself a nose ring. I do not care that I'm older. I'm a millennial and I'm rocking a nose ring. I will be a grandma with a nose ring and I don't care. Because when I was thinking about the highest version of myself, she had a nose ring. She had blonde hair. I mean, y'all can't see it under here because I have a wig on. But those are the things that I think about. Appearance. I also think about skincare and having glass skin and what it means for me to fully invest in having a skincare routine. It's a 10-step skincare routine, morning and night, but that's what works for me and that's where I have been able to see the payoff. I also take spironolactone to help with curbing like adult acne and things like that. So that's how I've invested in that mindset. We've already touched on that a little bit because we talked about how I said that work is tomorrow's today's work is tomorrow's identity. And so that's just my mantra that I live by every single day. And those are the things that I literally say this in my head every single day when I don't feel like doing something. I repeat that mantra in my head and I'm like, okay, if I skip out on this right here and right now, am I one, keeping a promise to the highest version of myself that I envision? Two, am I understanding that down the road, the action that I take right here, right now, just because I'm caught in my feelings is going to affect that future version of Megan? So that's where mindset comes in. Finances. I want you guys to also understand what amount of money you feel comfortable and you feel financially stable with having in your checking account. What do you feel comfortable and financially stable with having in your savings? And once again, we're going to go back to this conversation of you don't have to start huge. You can start small. If you are just starting out with learning how to budget, learning how to manage your money, I would say that the thing that has worked really best in our relationship with our finances for me and my husband is every single time we get paid, and we're on opposite 2 weeks. So every time we get paid, our money gets split into like three different accounts. And so there's some money that we don't even see because it goes away. And I be forgetting about it. So out of sight, out of mind really does work. So I challenge you that if you have not been one of those people that has really like tapped into your budget and tapped into your finances, take $25. Take $25, set up like a SoFi account or something of that sort. I really like SoFi because they let you do individualized like buckets for your financial planning, and it's tea. It is tea. But we'll get into that in another video. Your relationships, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be your friendships. It can be your relationship as being a sister. Like career. This is our very last one, babes. I know you might be tired at this point because this is a lot of information, but I trust you. We are at the finish line. Career. You can be a corporate baddie. You can be someone who owns her own business. You can be a boss babe. You can be a content creator. I don't want you to be ashamed of whatever it is that you are going for. And sometimes I want you to listen to me very closely. That means you keeping whatever your career goals are near and dear to your heart. Once again, between yourself and God, because everybody is not rooting for you. That's the really harsh reality. And I'm even going to throw it out there that some people are probably jealous. They're jealous of the fact that you are so secure in understanding who it is you want to be, what you aspire to do in life, and how you're going to get there. And because they have not identified those things for themselves, they see you progressing, they see you getting better, they see you working towards a goal, and they want to bring you down. So if you have people around you like that, I want to encourage you that maybe you just keep it near and dear to your heart, or maybe there's a few friends and family that you feel okay with expressing that to. I will tell you day in and day out, I am a content creator. I love sitting in front of a camera, having conversations like this, creating, editing, like looking for music to my videos, coming up with different context for my videos. I also really enjoy creating like visuals. So like if you go onto my Pinterest is just like visuals of all these things that I find to be beautiful and pretty. And I enjoy doing that. I enjoy curating the life that I love and also like documenting that at the same time. Something else is I have loved being like a girly girl, I would say since I was little, very little. And so the fact that I can make money by doing my makeup, sharing tips, empowering other women, showing how I do a wig installation, talking about my outfit. These are the things that make me happy. Creating a cozy home, little like things to have around the home that make it feel like a safe space for my family. When you are creating content, it should be centered around something that you never get tired of talking about. And these are topics that are like lifestyle oriented, and I don't get tired of talking about those things. And I also just kind of love when other people like talk to me about things that have happened in my videos and have conversations with me, or they ask me questions about like, hey, that lip liner that you were wearing, like, do you really love it? How long have you had it? Things like that, because that does happen from time to time. And so I really like that. I really like being impactful to individuals. And so I'm not ashamed to say any of that. And I'm also just not ashamed for anybody to see me while I am working and I am progressing into who I'm becoming as I'm evolving as a woman. So you have a little bit of homework until our next episode. Make sure you are subscribed and turn your post notifications on. I'm going to try to air these every Sunday, but sometimes I might have to flip flop these with my vlog, and it might be a Sunday or a Wednesday. Either way, if you have the post notifications on, you would know. Okay. Okay. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I hope that it is amazing. You do amazing things, and that you wake up and you figure out what it is that you want to pull from that Pinterest board and implement into your life starting this week. If you feel comfortable doing so, drop down below in the comments and get your eagle on, girl. No, okay. Reel it back in, Megan. Okay, drop down in the comments and tell me one thing that you feel like you could implement into your life this week. And maybe we should start with me. One thing I'm going to implement in my life this week is I'm going to dedicate setting aside time to read before bed. Now, I didn't say an hour, I said time. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Thank you so much. If you found this to be helpful, make sure you hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.